Hold up. This isn't some cheesy kid show. This is Kids in the Tank, a young perspective on business from high school students.
Welcome to Kids in the Tank. I'm Maddie, and with me in the tank are Andrew and Chloe. Today we are honored to have Michelle Winowich in the studio with us. Michelle Winowich is the founder of G.O.A.T Pet Products. Michelle, you are officially in the hot seat.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm blown away by how awesome everything is here. I mean, this is total first class. You guys are very fortunate. This is so cool.
It is.
So first question. Michelle, you were talking about, you're kind of like a pet product aficionado at this point, I feel like. So you were talking to us about like how much people love their pets. Which pet owner would you say has the most pride in their pet and cares most about their pets?
Well, I think that would have to be hands down dogs. Mm-hmm. You know, dogs, especially for a pet product, people usually don't take their bird or their cat to the pet store to go shopping, but they will their dog. And they'll put a picture of their dog on their desk and, create Instagram accounts for their dog. Yes.
Yeah, I have a friend like that.
And they'll talk for their dog, like, oh, you miss Mama. And you want to drink
That is
water.
my mom.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So definitely dogs.
That's a fair answer.
So how did you come up with the idea for the pet speaker? Do you have, I know you talked earlier about your dog, so do you have personal experience with, anxiety with them, or how did you come up with it?
So it's really nothing technical. It's very silly. I have 4 children and a very silly husband. And one thing that my kids have always said to my husband is, Dad, talk like the dog. Dad, talk like the dog. And we have a Doberman Zeus. And if you're familiar with Dobermans, they already look kind of goofy and their ears are... So if he walks in the room, my husband might give him a voice and, tell the kids to scoot over. I was sitting there, and he gives them this weird accent. And I really thought we were the only silly people out there, and I quickly found that everybody does it. So I thought, why not give a voice to our pets? And just like toddlers, sometimes they don't have a full vocabulary. We know what they want to say. Maybe they want a glass of milk or they're tired. So I'm not trying to decode brainwaves. I don't know what your pet is.
for a new product.
Yes, I don't know what your pet is thinking, but you do as a pet parent. So
it's very true.
Good,
yes.
Yeah.
So branching off of your pet speakers, what made you transition from technology to the G.O.A.T pet product treats that you sell?
Well, that's a great question. So G.O.A.T is for greatest of all time. Mm-hmm. Our treats are truly goat milk treats.
Okay.
So it's either total confusion or just a play on words.
Yeah.
But when I first launched the speaker, we quickly, as a new company, got a deal with PetSmart, and we were in over 1,500 stores. And in exchange for that, they wanted to be exclusive. So I needed another product really fast, and I also wanted it to be made in the U.S. Having a Bluetooth speaker, I challenge you to be able to find someone that can actually make it in the U.S. The ones that said they would and they could, we're also outsourcing it to China. So that part of it really bummed me out. And so for the treats, I really wanted to take it a step further. Mm-hmm. And actually in Wisconsin is the Eisenhower Center, where they employ people with special needs like autism and Down syndrome and stroke recovery. And they do all of our baking for our treats. I'm actually visiting them tomorrow, so I'm super excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's the kind of tie-in with the treats, is I needed another product that didn't need to have a mold and a long manufacturing time.
Yeah.
So with the treats, it's a basic recipe, and then the packaging just needs to stand out, because who really wants another brand of a dog treat? It needed to be different. So mine is in milk cartons, play on the name for goat milk.
Okay.
So it's in milk
smart.
cartons, and it also tells the story of our bakers.
So did you choose to use goat milk because of your G.O.A.T website?
Yes.
I like that.
100%. It was all about goat milk, and goat milk is so healthy. Even if you're lactose intolerant or anything, even for humans, you can drink goat milk. But the problem with goat milk is it's expensive.
Yeah.
So it is a premium treat, but, we're doing it in the best way that we can. And it's, all the trendy things. It's gluten-free, it's grain-free, it's got peanut butter flavor.
Everybody wants the best for their dog.
They do.
Yes. They may not, they may buy themselves a McDonald's sandwich, but they will be super healthy with their pet.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It's like a newborn baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Were you involved in the making of the formula for the treat, or did you have someone that came up with it?
So the Eisenhower Center helped me. I knew I wanted it to be goat milk in place of milk and peanut butter. And I didn't want any extra, I just wanted it to be as healthy as possible. So it really just boiled down to I wanted goat milk and peanut butter. So what else do we need to bake a treat? So a touch of molasses. And a little bit of baking powder. And that's it. So it's just 5 ingredients.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have a question. Is there ever been an idea that you regret not following through? If so, can you tell us about it?
Oh, geez.
This is a tough one.
This is a tough one. So
We won't steal it.
Yep. So an idea that I didn't follow through, I would say not necessarily one that I maybe didn't follow through, but that I gave away.
Okay.
And I've spent my life doing that. Not that I'm full of all of these perfect ideas, but the few that I did give away, which was part of my job, I just watched how incredibly successful it was. But I also learned what it took. You don't just have this great product and be like, oh my gosh, this is so great, and then everyone's going to just call and try to order it and buy it at stores. There's a lot of work involved to make it great. So.
Okay.
Okay, so because you said you were on Shark Tank.
Yes.
So how has your experience with Shark Tank affected the product? Did you actually have to change it at all? Because I know sometimes the sharks recommend that, or has it just affected sales? What has come from that whole experience?
Well, so when I was on Shark Tank, I was exclusive at PetSmart. So my whole pitch was really about driving sales to PetSmart. It was my display said exclusive at PetSmart. Everything I said was PetSmart. And, that helped PetSmart sales incredibly. It helped ours too, direct sales. But really, prior to knowing that, it was very stressful because we've all seen the show, I'm sure. And it could be the best 8-minute commercial to 8 million viewers, or it could be the absolute worst.
It's intimidating.
Yes.
That is.
I mean, you could hear, don't ever buy this is the worst, or this has all these issues. So that part, I quickly learned. I did a lot of homework prior to being on the show. And it's really about you, just like here now, it's about you steering the conversation. So, because at one point, Mr. Wonderful called it crap.
No.
And he had said a ton of other things, but it was almost like his job to call it crap.
Yeah,
You know what I
he does
mean?
that to everything.
makes sense.
Exactly. And so what I said was, he was in the middle of a sentence, but he referenced it as crap. And I said, whoa, don't say crap. And I went like this, standing there like Snow White, and I'm like, don't say crap. And then he goes, oh, okay, I'm sorry. But I stopped him.
Yeah.
But not like, who do you think you are? I was just trying to be fun. But it worked. So, and that
Smart.
really was the whole hour of talking to them. They edited it down to 7.5 minutes, but that was the whole thing that I kept trying to do, was steer it towards the positives.
Yeah.
Even when they're talking and arguing and you can get kind of caught up in it all, I try to be cognitive of, we got to keep this positive.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably
like, what
what
will they
made
use?
the product so attractive too, is you were making it positive, whereas the sharks really
Definitely.
can be sharks sometimes. You see some
Yep.
where it's just like they rip them apart.
Well,
So you doing that, congrats with that,
Yeah, no,
because
thank
I
you.
wouldn't be able to.
I know the one point where Lori says, she holds them up, she goes, they're so cute, but I really don't know what they do. And I remember thinking, well, I just explained it. My first opening pitch was 2 minutes, but the camera's on me. they're getting caught up on their emails and on their texts,
okay.
and they're talking to each
Yeah.
other and they're sharing. They weren't listening to a word, which is really hard to be
Yeah.
exciting and pitch.
Yeah.
When
I
nobody's
don't-
watching.
That
I don't
would be
see you at
frustrating.
home watching going, oh my gosh, she's on. I don't see that. I just see their faces, and I'm like, oh, should I repeat myself?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no like, oh shoot, I forgot my line. Can we start again? They want you to screw up because it's about ratings. It's about entertainment.
Yeah.
So, if you start crying or if you have a huge burger, that's your problem. They're not helping you.
So is Robert like a nice guy? Because he seems like the sweetest shark that there is.
I definitely think he's a nice guy. It's really not like a partnership where you go to lunch
actually know
and
him,
you talk.
Okay.
It's a ton of behind the scenes stuff. After the show, you go into what's called a due diligence phase, where they're kind of vetting you as far as finance, how you run your business, are you going to be a good partner?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of renegotiation that can go on, but it's a long process, and I'm still in it.
Okay.
So from what I've heard and when I met him, he seems amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't have any big secrets or anything.
I'm not sure if you said when exactly did you go on Shark Tank
So it aired January 16th
of this year?
of this year.
Okay.
Yep. And I was dressed as Snow White, which the only reason
Caught their attention.
Well, everybody has those trade show marketing shirts like the one I was wearing in there that says, your name and your company. And that's usually what everyone wears. But Shark Tank isn't about promoting your brand. You are when you're in front of the sharks and you show your logo or whatever. But like all their commercials and advertising says, a pet communication device from Bloomfield, Michigan. Like, well, you're not going to find me, or you remember what
Can't
episode
type
it
that
was.
into Google.
Yeah.
Correct, which I need to put that in a keyword.
Communication.
Remind me. But I knew that it'd be like, oh yeah, Snow White.
Yeah, the viewers
That's
will
smart,
remember
yeah.
it too.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
But I knew too it was a recipe for disaster because the name of the company is G.O.A.T, which can be confusing because we're not about pet
Yeah,
goats.
it's not about
Yeah.
goats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a retired service canine with me, so it's kind of a military theme. And then I'm dressed as a princess.
So it's just a combination
And
of
I have a
everything,
speaker.
yeah.
So I'm waiting for the sharks to totally rip me apart. But I was willing, I would have dressed like a clown if they asked me to. 250,000 people wanted to be where I was. So I was going to, as long as it represented the brand in a decent way.
Make it count.
But one question that I wasn't prepared for that they asked me was, why Snow White? And I remember thinking, shoot, why?
I think I actually
first
watched
costume
this
I saw.
portion
Yes.
of the episode because I was like, that's a good question.
Do you remember what I said?
I don't
I'm
know.
so proud of myself. I said, because in fairy tales, princesses always talk to animals, but they never had the ability to talk back until now.
Wow.
That is
That is
genius.
amazing.
And then
That's a good
I was
save.
like, oh my gosh, but the truth is, nowadays, the animals do talk in fairy tales. But I'm referencing Snow White. The
Yeah.
birds
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
and they chirp
Yeah.
and they alert her like, oh, look out. But they're not saying look out. They're going,
Yeah.
yeah. So they just needed the Go Pet speaker, and then they could have warned her about the evil witch a
perfect.
lot sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Snow White kind of relates to the whole animal thing. So at least it was a princess that relates. It's
Yes.
not just like random,
And
completely random.
The dress wasn't as scary as some of the other ones. And
Yeah.
it turns out that Disney actually owns Sony Studios. So they were all about a Disney theme.
Oh.
Because everything has to be approved. You can't
Yeah.
just make a decision
Yeah.
and wear Louis Vuitton something or
Yeah.
you cannot.
Okay.
So yeah, but go ahead.
All right, so last question.
Yeah.
How has your success with G.O.A.T pet products influenced your plans for the future?
Oh my goodness, in so many ways. It's been such a lesson as far as, people think like, oh, if you own your own company, like we were kind of talking in there a little bit about, if you don't want to go to work that day or you have flexibility, it's the opposite. Unless you don't want to be as big as you want to be. It
Yeah.
depends on what your
Working.
goals are. Because first of all, like I referenced China, well, they're
Yeah.
not on the same clock as us. It's a 12-hour difference. So if I'm working with my China folks, I'm working at night. I'm working during the day for sales in the U.S. I'm also customer service, just because I'm a little controlling. I won't argue. But I want every customer to be happy, and I have great people involved, but I still want to talk to each and every one. So it's a lot of time. So I would say that has definitely changed things. I'm never done working.
Yeah.
But it's all towards the future, and, money is opportunity, but it's what you do with the money. But, and having opportunities like being here with you guys. I mean, to me, it's an honor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an honor to have you here.
Well, thanks.
thank
Thanks
you.
for coming.
Yeah, no, thanks, guys.
Well, thank you for answering our questions. Now we'll be moving into our next segment, which is called Flip It, where you get the chance to ask us questions.
Okay, so I had no questions prior to sitting here, but now I did think of some. So I'll start with you.
Okay.
Do you want to be in broadcasting?
I've never really thought about it. I'm more thinking about like graphic design and marketing, but
Oh, really?
wherever I go, yeah.
Well, I definitely deal with a lot of graphic designers, and one thing that I've learned is they're not very motivated.
Oh, really?
They work slow. So don't be that way.
Okay.
Work fast.
Yes,
I
because
will.
you know what happens is then I just want to give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Because almost always when I need something changed, it's because it's like everything is like an emergency.
Yeah.
People hate hearing from me. They're like, okay, what's your timeline? Like 2 hours?
Yeah.
I need 2 weeks. So no, not broadcasting,
I've
more like
I've
marketing.
never thought about it, yeah.
Well, you can be marketing on the air too.
I
right?
could do that.
You could tie it together. Yeah. Okay, and then for you, I loved how you suggested putting the product on the table, which was like an excellent
Thank you.
brand awareness.
Advertising.
I wanted people to know what we're talking
Marketing.
about.
No, yes, absolutely. So, are you into marketing too,
No.
or
No.
do you know?
Co-opposite, no.
What's the opposite of marketing?
Genetics.
Oh, that is the opposite of marketing.
Complete
I
opposite.
didn't know that until today.
So, like a doctor?
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, how does this tie into genetics?
I don't know. I just have fun when I come here, so.
Yeah.
Why
You
not?
could
It's cool
also
to
be the doctor that's on the air.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
calling in to
I could
speak
be,
with the doc, the
David
genetic
Gruber of
doc.
doctors.
Yes, yes.
There you go.
Yeah, no, very cool. Okay, and then how about you? So, I'm going to try to guess.
Okay.
Do you know, like, hands down for sure?
Yes. Well, I mean, I think I know, but I feel like a lot of people think they know going into college, and then it changes. So as of now, I think I know.
I almost want to say singer, but I think it's just the way that you look with the mic and the microphone. But you just tell me.
Like age?
No, like what
Oh,
you
what
want
I'm
to
going to do. Okay. Because I thought you said senior. Yes,
no,
I am senior.
a singer.
Oh, singer.
You look like you're ready to bust out a tune.
No, I was in theater, but singing, I was always the chorus. Like, I didn't want to be,
Well,
on
you-
stage.
Well, you kind of are
But,
now.
yeah, similar. But I actually want to be a medical technician.
You do.
Yeah, so like working in the labs, working with samples and that kind of stuff. So kind of similar to genetics,
yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
But
Well, my husband's in medical device sales,
okay,
and so he's in the hospitals every day, and
I'll be using a lot of those probably.
Yep, and he's in a lot of procedures, and I can't tell you how much he loves his job. Loves it. And if you asked my daughter, who's here with me today, there's twins, but one of them wants to be medical device sales like her dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Cool.
she sees all the stuff that I do, Shark Tank, and all this, and wants to
She's
do
just like, eh.
But do you know what it is? It's his schedule. Mm-hmm. It's,
Definitely.
like all of his best friends are like chief of neurosurgery, or I can't even say the words. We're so opposite. But it is. It's so rewarding. I mean, I say he burns and freezes tumors. He has much more technical words.
That's cool.
But it's about, it's really being in the grind. So hats off.
Yeah.
I think that you should explain your product to us. Just
Okay.
on the podcast real
Yeah,
quick.
so the G.O.A.T pet speaker, it gives your pet a voice.
Mhm.
It's for dogs, cats.
If you want this to be like an actual commercial, you can look. There's a camera right there. Yeah, there you go.
Go pet speaker.
Give it a wink, yeah.
So it comes with an app, the G.O.A.T pet speaker app, and you're actually putting in the app. You're either typing in what you want your pet to say, and it comes out the collar, or you can record your own fun voice. So like what I say, some of the
Yeah.
cute single guys will say, this is a great way to pick up chicks. Like the dog could walk over to a pretty girl.
It's so true, though.
It's a lot
Yeah.
more.
All girls love dogs.
Yes, and imagine if this dog walks over to you and says, hi, my friend thinks you're cute.
Oh, I'd melt. I'd
You would be like,
yes, please.
oh my God, you're so cute. Right? It's going to work every time.
Oh, yeah.
And then some of the older guys that are my age are like, okay, this is great for my mother-in-law, and has it say like, oh no, it's you again. But you can also have the dog greet his friends by name. Some people will have, use it for like training commands for adoption events. It's like, oh, please adopt me. My name's Fluffy. I like long walks
that's
and
cute.
snuggles
That's cool,
or whatever.
That's really smart.
But it also streams music. So even if you don't have a dog, you can stream music from your backpack or clip it to your shirt. We include the charger, the pet parent lanyard, and there's a selfie remote button built in. So I always say, right now, if I want to take a selfie, I have to do this, and I'm just getting a little too old and wrinkly to be that close to the camera. So then the other option is the selfie stick, which is a little embarrassing in my eyes.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
So
It's a
now you
pain.
can just set your phone anywhere and hit the button on the bottom of the collar, and we already know social media is filled with pictures of dogs. So now you can be in the picture with your furry
dog.
BFF.
And who doesn't want music while walking their dog?
Well,
like,
and it's safer because if we're walking around with headphones on,
Exactly.
we're not aware of our environment. And so a lot of people are already just streaming it from their phone or from a small Bluetooth speaker that's not really that
It's hard
small.
to hear.
Yeah.
That's kind
And
of bulky.
your dog can listen to it then too.
Well,
like,
for
it's
sure.
not just you.
For sure. We just had the head professor.
If you can't tell, I have dogs.
Yes, well, and it's not meant to be streaming music in your dog's ear. The streaming music is for you, but it is meant to stream music in your dog's ear for soothing classical music. Just like a newborn baby, it works every time. If there's a storm or fireworks or even loud company, you can put on, my Doberman's favorite lullaby is London Bridges.
Oh, okay.
It's a Keith Urban remix. It's super weird, but he loves it. But it's really anything you want it to be. You're just, using it with the app or even without the app.
Did you just go down the list and try out different ones until you found the right one? Or is
See
it
which
just-
one he reacts to.
Yeah.
I actually only was searching anything that had to do with Keith Urban because I heard my buyer at PetSmart loved Keith Urban,
okay. That's
infatuated with him. So everything I demoed prior to getting that deal had to do with Keith Urban. So that was
Nice.
that was my psychology
Okay.
behind that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and for all of your insight.
Oh, you guys, thank you. This is
Thanks.
a
Yeah.
total
It's a-
honor. I feel like a changed person. I didn't even know this existed. So thank you.
No, it was really good having you on.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thank you.